You're listening to the Broadway Podcast Network. Visit bpn.fm to discover more.
Hello, I'm Jesse McAnally.
And I'm Andrew DeWolf.
And I'm Liz Esten.
And welcome to Musicals with Cheese, a podcast where I try to get Andrew and Liz to like musical theater. And welcome to this photography exhibition that we are currently at. We are recording this live from a photo exhibition in the fanciest part of New York. Andrew, Liz, how would you describe the environment we're in?
It's like a lot of pictures. Some snobby guy took pictures and fucking pretentious. I don't know. It's this fucking guy with the glasses on. He looks like
Is it Doug Walker?
He looks like Mark from fucking Rent.
Mark from Rent took all these photos of homeless people, and his husband wrote songs about it. I was going to try to do like this whole bit where we're pretending we're in a photo exhibition, and for each one we're doing a mini podcast of each song that is also a photo. But you know what? That's too much work. This week we are covering 35 millimeter. It has a proper title. A musical exhibition. Cue the music.
Stop time, captured lights, gathered imaging on photo sites. A sensor, small like a tooth, records and stages pixel pages of truth.
Focus.
Oh, alive, stopped in pose in a world that never goes. Time stops.
So 35 millimeter, a musical exhibition, is a song cycle written by Ryan Scott Oliver based on photographs by Matthew Murphy, his husband. A full developmental production was presented at the Urban Stages in December of 2010, directed by Daisy Prince. 35 millimeter made its off-Broadway world premiere at the Galapagos Art Space in New York City on March 7, 2012, and the album was recorded at the Sears Sound in New York City in February of 2012. The quote-unquote plot, or just basically press release of 35 millimeter, is a picture is worth 1,000 words. What about a song? Can a picture inspire a song, or 15? In 35 millimeter, a photo creates a unique song, moments frozen in time, a glimmer of a life unfolding, a glimpse of something happening, a stunning new multimedia musical which explores a groundbreaking new concept in musical theater. This intricately woven collection of stories told through songs reimagines what the modern American musical can be. So that's the plot of the show.
So I gotta ask, okay? Like, right before we even start here, is there a show to this? Or is it like there's just a bunch of pictures that go with the songs? Like, is there a show element? Because we didn't watch a show element.
No.
Or you didn't send me one.
No. There is,
Okay.
Often it's kind of minimalist, like they will do more or less a stripped down stage production and portray the image that they're representing on a projector behind them.
So it's basically like there's just a big picture and then people come up and sing.
Yes, a lot of other people have done different interpretations. Like when this is picked up for licensing, they have done interpretations like that. But in the original form, it is more or less a concert with photos to go along.
Okay. I was just wondering.
This show has had a life of its own in in animatic form, which I think is sincerely one of the best ways to engage with musical theater is fans making animatics of what they think the plot is. Truly the best art form of musical theater. I love it so much. I think before we can't cover this show like we do all the other times. We can't do our Ben Brantley reviews. We can't do our mid shows. So we kind of have to talk about each song at face value because they are not connected really by a theme aside from, the photos that Ryan Scott Oliver's husband, Matthew Murphy, took. And yeah, do either of you know anything about Ryan Scott Oliver before we dive in?
Absolutely not.
I've never heard of this man.
He is a renowned composer. He just released a new album recently. I think he's great. I think his music skills are incredible. And our former guest and I can say good friend, Emily Clark, childhood best friends with Ryan Scott Oliver. So she
Give me
is
a song recommendation. I'll play it in here. What do you got?
Honestly, they're all from this, like, so I don't really want to kind of give it
They're
away.
all from this. Okay, never mind.
Yeah, cut that out.
I was expecting something from outside of it.
Like, he has a brand new album. I just started listening to it the other day. I'm still unpacking it. So I really can't.
Okay.
He also did Jasper and Deadland, which is interesting. It's not quite my style, but I do like it. I think he's a brilliant musician, and I think what he does is very interesting. However, there are two kind of warring albums with relatively the same cast members at this time. You have this album, 35mm, and you have Drew Gasparini's album, which has Lindsay Mendez and Alex Brightman and a lot of other people that are in this album as well. And I kind of prefer Drew Gasparini's album. And a lot of those songs that I thought were from 35mm are actually in Drew Gasparini's album.
So wait, what's the difference between the two albums?
There's different composers. His album is called I Could Use a Drink. And has, like, let's take a look at this. It has Alex Brightman as well. It also has Lindsay Mendez, and it has a good mix of comedy numbers and dark numbers, basically back to back. Ben Crawford as well.
So they're a similar format, though.
They're a similar format, unrelated songs, a lot of the same musicians, a lot of the same vocalists. And Lindsay Mendez has a very dark, moody song in both of them that kind of steal the show that everyone talks about. And everyone in the world, in the general consensus, really loves 35mm. They are really obsessed with that. And then I'm in my own little corner like, I really like Drew Gasparini's I Could Use a Drink. I really like this song where Lindsay Mendez sings about probably being Harley Quinn. I don't know. So it's kind of me diving into this for the first time, properly engaging with it, aside from like one or two songs that I knew and really loved. So I'm kind of going into this as raw as you guys, aside from maybe one or two numbers. So let's go to the first song that introduces the concept, and that is Stop Time.
So is this the one where they're talking about the camera and like how it takes a picture and stop and like literally freezes time?
Exactly that. It's basically setting up the concept for the relationship.
Yeah. It's literally and I didn't understand what I was going into, but I understood immediately that this was just setting up the framework and why it's called 35mm and blah blah blah.
Mm-hmm.
But
what do you think?
It really just feels like an introduction.
Yeah, it is. But what do you think of the initial premise? Because I don't think we're really going to talk about it outside of this, so I kind of want to dive into this. Like, the idea of taking images and turning them into songs on its own.
I think it's like a piece that a lot of composers could use as a way to test their storytelling ability, but it almost feels like a training exercise, and we're just seeing it now. I don't know, like you take a picture and you're like, how do I turn that into a song? Or it's kind of like a bunch of it's like instead of concept albums, it's concept songs, but you give every single one of them a album cover.
That is actually kind of fun. Like, these are little mini concept songs with an album cover to go alongside of it. What about you, Liz?
I don't hate the idea, like, especially if your photographer is literally your husband. Like, it's like you're working with you're one of the people you're closest with. Like, it's a really interesting idea, and it's not been done a ton, but if the photographs don't have like a similar theme throughout, it feels like a bunch of EPs, like at one after another, that are kind of related but not really, and they're not bad. They're just not related.
There are thematic ties between the songs, and I did take notes of like repeated choruses, repeated like things turned on its head. So I think
it needed a story outside of it, like like the Goosebumps, you know, where it's like somebody has a camera and he's taking pictures of a bunch of people, and that's where the pictures come from.
You want a framing device?
I want a framing device, yes.
The framing device is we're at an exhibition. We are at a photo exhibition, and these are a musical representation of those songs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not much of a framing device.
You are the framing device.
I already went to communication school and did that a bunch of times. I don't need to do it again. Like, I'm good.
I'm the audience. I'm not a framing device.
All right. let's move on to Crazy Town.
Oh, ding dong. Oh,
Ding dong.
oh,
Ding dong.
oh, ding dong. Oh, ding dong.
Ding dong. Ding dong. Ding dong.
There's a hole inside my brain. Take a stroll down the drain to Crazy Town. You fall there like Alice. Crazy Town. It's an anthropomorphic circus. Crazy Town.
So this is the first time we have an image to go alongside of it. Andrew, do you remember the image for this one?
A red gradient background. I'm guessing a painted wall with a light on it.
Mm-hmm.
And then there is a what looks like a framed picture of a person's lower head screaming, and then like blended with the person not screaming facing the other direction.
It's like double exposure, but with actual photographs. Like if you try to double expose two physical photograph objects, it's interesting. As photographically, I find it interesting and as something engaging. Now,
It'd be a good album cover
it would be. Now, in relation to the
for
song,
9 Inch Nails.
what I have the actual like genius description of it, but what do you think the song was about, Andrew?
This one I couldn't really parse. There's a few that I was able to parse a lot better on just one listen, but this one
is just about reality, and they make a lot of comparisons to Wonderland and Narnia and things like that, and imagery that is, I don't even know, like it's a manifestation of a boy's delusions, more or less. And you could either decide whether he's gone to heaven or hell. It's like, hey, welcome to the world we're gonna live in. And it is probably the most musically complex song on this album. It is the most Sondheim-y, kind of mixy, weird, and it sets up the world of the show. As Ryan Scott Oliver said in his commentary, he wrote a lot of songs that were meant for an audience, and a lot of them that he just wrote from his soul. And this one he didn't care if an audience got. He kind of just wrote from his soul. And everyone tried to pressure him to not make this the opening number. They were like, make On Monday the opening number because it's like a charming little love song. It'll kind of ease people in. He's like, no, I want to put this insane song up front so that they will kind of know the varied tones that we're going to have for the rest of this album.
It's an interesting take to put this at the beginning. I think it was a mistake, and he should have listened to the people that said not to. If you're doing a show, you kind of want people to be engaged right away, and you probably shouldn't try to confuse them with the most surreal and odd number in your as your opener.
I mean, the song is about a little boy going to Crazy Town, being torn apart, and then having to start it again. So it is like a never-ending hell cycle. I don't know if either of you watched Preacher, where basically the premise of their hell is you have to relive the worst moment of your life over and over again for all eternity. Which it sounds like this is taking a lot of influence for this and basing it on a lot of dreams and nightmares that college students have. I don't know why. So the transitions. We're not really going to go into the transitions, but apparently they were just put there to kind of ease the audience and for no other reason. Like give a nice little kind of ease between the songs. But let's move on to On Monday.
Good for us. You wouldn't let me kiss you, wouldn't you wouldn't let me kiss you, and that is why you were my kind of guy.
Which, Andrew, tell us if you could parse that one.
Okay, On Monday was about people falling in love
Kind of.
for the most part. There's a lot of it.
It's about, oh God. Like, okay, I love Betsy Wolf. This song annoys me a little bit. This is not my
Oh?
kind of song at all. It's about a girl that fell in love with a guy who thinks that she's a little too clingy and you have to stay away from me to make the love more powerful. And honestly, in my opinion, it's kind of abusive.
If you love it, let it go, or something like
no,
that.
no, it's if you love it, avoid it for a while, and then it'll mean more when you get back to it at the end of the day. So
it's about negging.
yes, this is a song about negging, and their specific meetup date is Mondays and Mondays alone. And he just keeps calling her
Like Garfield.
Yes. Exactly. But she comes to, like, they have different vibes of different romantic attachments, and he keeps calling her juvenile, but the song keeps saying, you're too juvenile. And
Yes, I remember that.
that, I don't know what it is. That kind of, I don't like it. And this is just, there is no quality basis. I just kind of didn't like the way it sound.
Look, you said this week I got to be John.
What? Andrew, you're being too juvenile. I mean, is that an effective thing in a relationship to like
No.
avoid them?
No.
No. We
No.
should maybe we should talk about the picture.
Yeah, we
let's
should.
talk
What
about
is
the
the
picture.
image that goes alongside this one?
It looks as though a person is putting their hand in their pocket, and there's a person beside them reaching out their hand as if to offer it to hold,
It's about withholding your love.
and how
No,
that
it-
makes you a better lover.
No, it's
Yeah.
not being a douchebag.
Yeah.
Look, people love in different ways, all right? It's how it is.
There is a bullshit about like different attachment things, and like
Yeah,
I've had conversation with people I really respect about attachment styles, but in my opinion, I think it's all bullshit. I think it's all about like egos and people's fear of intimacy at the end of the day. It's like zodiac
Yes.
signs where it's like, oh my god, Mercury is in retrograde. That means I can be a bitch to anyone I want. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? I feel like I'm gonna piss off the zodiac girlies right now. Let's move on to the next song, Cara Lee.
Carol Lee is a terror. But Carol Lee, don't suck on that. Pays the bills. Drop it. Drop it, drop it. Life has her Manny beats a life on my fanny still. Carol Lee, she kills. Spit. 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 Thank you.
Okay, I actually know what this one's about, I think.
Yeah.
All right, Andrew, all yours. Go off.
It's like there's like a person who's trying to, like, I thought it was about a person babysitting somebody, but now that I see the picture again, it's like a doll, so I'm not sure. Maybe the doll is Carol Lee and not like a girl. But I thought it was a person babysitting somebody and they fucking hated it.
Well,
And
describe what
that's
the image
really
looks
it.
like really quick for the audience.
The image is an American Girl doll and then another American Girl doll below it.
But the the other American Girl doll has her hair torn out and an eye missing. It's messed up.
Also, it's a wish
Yeah.
American Girl doll. That is not a real American.
It's not real, no, but I didn't know how else to describe it.
You are correct, Andrew. It is about a nanny, a male nanny, who is babysitting this child and slowly goes insane from doing so to the point where he literally gives it to a homeless person on the street and
so
runs away.
At the end, he gets out of it.
Yes. But there is also the alternative reading that it is literally Satan. Like, people have read the literal reading that Carol Lee is Satan and he is trying to escape their clutches.
I do not agree with that reading. I think it's about how children are fucking awful.
I feel like all of us are going to be childless 48-year-olds one day,
God.
if we're
I don't
lucky.
know, man.
50-50.
I'm still working that out in my head.
Carol Lee is Satan. It's an interesting kind of song, a little more funnier than we're used to, especially with the last couple. Yeah, I think I guess we're not really talking about the quality of whether or not we like it, except for me, but do we like this song?
I thought it was good.
I liked it better than
I like
on
this
Monday.
one. I like this one the best out of the first three.
Okay. We're going to have to do a ranking list at the end of this, aren't we?
This one has started to
There's
pick up
no
for me.
fucking way I can rank all of them.
I
There's
cannot
no
rank all
fucking
these.
way.
We'll do a collective ranking, you know?
Okay.
The next is The Party Goes With You.
We don't speak of names and faces. Why should we? We don't speak of husbands or homes or work or wives and happy lives. All we've got are lips and faces moving flawlessly, holding secrets in our clothes.
This one, it took me a couple listens to figure out, and also I had to look at the Genius lyrics. But describe the image.
The image is a man carrying a bunch of balloons, and you can't see the man, and he's in New York City.
Fair enough.
The balloons are covering him.
You can almost smell the urine from the image.
It's true.
Yeah, you can.
This song I struggled with a little bit. Just trying to figure out what was it about. Did you have any idea, just based on your general first watch, Andrew?
Honestly, I just thought it was about like a woman who is with somebody who is the life of the party while she is not.
Kind of. Like, that is more or less what it is. It's about a wife, allegedly, that is only there for show. Basically, someone that he only pulls out at parties, but is distant from any other time he is not in public.
Yeah.
Which is an interesting emotional idea to play with. I've met people like that where I don't think I've ever seen them interact with their wife that wasn't on like an event. And it's kind of sad, and you can see the sadness in their eyes, and that's a complex issue to play with.
Bill Clinton?
You know what? You're not wrong. Sadly, I don't think Hillary sees that as much of a problem.
No.
No, I don't think they live together.
I think Hillary's living her best life.
I mean, it's like Meryl Streep and her husband, allegedly.
Yeah.
Or Will Smith and his wife.
I think that most like rich couples who care about their image, that's kind of how it is.
Party Goes With You. Good song, bad song? What do we think?
It was
It was
fine.
fine. I
It's a
love
little
Lindsay
bit of a
Mendez,
downer.
but-
I love Lindsay Mendez too, but continue.
Like, I don't know, it just didn't hit me.
Maybe
really
we're
well.
too young.
Yeah, that might be it too. It took me a couple listens to even get what was going on, which is probably part of my problem. But I don't know.
I kind of understood it. The song it didn't stand out as much.
It didn't
to me.
vibe with me super well.
That's fair. And I feel similar ways, but I appreciated it in that Sondheimy way where it's like, I haven't heard that before. I haven't heard this take before. Where a lot of Sondheim, like songs for elder women, I don't resonate with, but I like appreciate the fact they exist. Let's move on to Good Lady.
Gone is my lady in white. At dawn I roused to the sight, and I, her long-tethered knight, found no answer. I tore my blade from the wall, ran through its chamber and hall, but not for search nor for squall, won no answer. What man so jealous yet to steal my lady away? My maid with hair like jet and skin like pearl and ocean spray. I beg you hear my call, good lady. Athwart these earth I follow, good lady. Your deathless scent is all that keeps me from my torment. So if you hear my plea, won't you answer, lady? Won't you answer me?
Weird.
I don't even think this picture relates to like the song we get.
This is a picture from the set of Joker 2.
This is Joaquin Phoenix.
I am so excited for Joker 2, and I'm so excited to make us cover it on the podcast. Either way, describe what the image we have is, Andrew.
It's a guy screaming while he holds his hands out and leans forward. He is in a water fountain. The water looks like fire behind him.
He kind of looks like an X-Man.
Yeah,
Which
it looks
X-Man?
as though he is posing for he's the villain in a superhero movie, and he's doing the pose.
What do you think this song was about, Andrew?
This song is about a guy thinks that his wife is gone, and
His gamer GF?
realizes that she left him on purpose.
Yeah.
I knew a guy that this happened to. I'm not kidding.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Can we please elaborate on that?
Without names.
I don't want to give any names.
No, don't give
I
any
don't want to
names.
be specific or anything. But this guy moved to my state, and he was a bit of a drunk, and he thought that his wife, it wasn't his wife, it was his girlfriend. He thought his girlfriend died or something like that. But then he went back to his home state and it realized that his girlfriend was just dating a dude that was in a much better metal band than he was.
How did you come up with the best punchline ever to the end of that story? I know it's based on reality, but holy shit, that was set up like a joke. Holy.
The saddest part is he moved back to his state, and I haven't talked to him since, so I don't know what's going on with him. I hope he's alive.
You know what you should do? You should just send him the song. Just no context. Just send him the song Good Lady and see what happens. But wow, moving on from that, what do we think of the song itself? Because it has the Latin intro and outro kind of things. I think it's kind of neat.
I think it's neat. I feel like as far as it strays the furthest away from the premise that we've gotten so far. Whereas I'm not sure it has anything to do with this picture that was taken at all.
This guy's nutting.
No, he's not, Jess. No, he's not.
This guy just looks really angry.
You've never done an angry nut. Okay.
Whatever.
It does
song's
scream.
fine.
It
Jess,
screams
have you done
obsession.
an angry nut?
That's the name of my band, Hedwig and the Angry Nut.
Bruh.
Brit,
I think the song is fine.
it's fine.
For a character that is known as the knight, and it is about a knight and a good lady and all that, it doesn't feel very, I don't know, medieval, aside from the Latin at the beginning and the end.
I think that was more of a setup, and really it was about a guy in New York doing the same thing, because that's what most musicals are about.
All right, Ryan Scott Oliver imagines straight people do, in their everyday lives periodically.
Let's talk about Make Me Happy.
Oh, you make me happy all the time, and you know I'm a total dick. But you make me happy all the time. Oh, baby, you just do the trick. Like when you know I need my alone time, and you keep out of my goddamn way, which makes me happy, happy, baby, never go away. 'Cause you make me happy, oh, you make me happy, oh, you make me happy, oh, you make me happy.
What's this image, Andrew?
This image is it's a still from the trailer for that fucking video game that was a big thing. You remember that?
No.
Where they took happy pills?
Oh, We Happy Few?
People in the audience, people in the audience remember this. We
Okay.
Happy Few.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a still from the trailer for that.
All right, I'll take your word for it.
Or from a depression pills ad.
Are you feeling sad? Take Viagra and then you'll turn happy.
In all actuality, though, it's two people walking with happy face balloons from Walmart in front of their face.
Forrest Gump
and
made
there's a
those.
yellow fence. And there's a yellow fence. And it's cloudy.
I like the shadows, kind of make them look like aliens.
Yeah.
A little bit, yeah.
They look like South Park aliens.
Yeah. I don't know if I understand this song.
I mean,
There
the first line of this song is so stupid that I crack up every time.
Why don't you remind us what the opening lines of the song are?
Is it you make me happy all the time even though I'm a fucking dick?
Yep.
Okay, yep. That's what I thought.
And then her
Yeah.
line is something similar too, something equally as cringe, which is oh god, I'm trying to remember. It's equally as vulgar. You make me happy all the time, and that is really fucking rough. Still, you make me happy all the time. Oh baby, I can't get enough. This is from a time in musical theater where just throwing a fuck word in every now and then was gold. It's the Spring Awakening time.
Comedy.
The comedy.
This is the funny song because they swear.
I wouldn't even say that
Gotta.
this is really that funny. It's just kind of two aggressive people that think that they make each other happy, I guess. The Genius lyrics say that it's described as a couple using each other as a happy drug. The other person in the relationship makes them feel happy and not truly joyful. They say that they need each other to be some kind of happy with their own faults and issues. So basically, it's people using other people to cope. But there is one lyric I want to talk about, which is like right before the song ends. It is, "And I know I don't deserve you, but please have faith in me. I'm working to be worthy, and soon you're going to see, you'll see." Which is an exact lyric from the next song. And I know if I didn't bring that up, other people would point out that I didn't bring it up. And the next song is The Seraph. Seraphith?
Seraph?
The Seraph?
I think the Seraph.
This is Michigan Education going for you right now.
I journey toward a goodness that he exemplifies, wise and cool and clear and human in disguise. The angel leads me onward, he watches as I sleep. The angel thinks I've got some kind of soul to keep. I feel him rest his seraph head warm against my chest. Don't know why it should be, but by the angel I am blessed.
Andrew, what is this image right here?
It looks like a guy on a catwalk, and there's a bright light. He's facing towards this bright light.
So, this is about faith. I think that's pretty obvious. It's about an angel and a sinner, and the angel helping the sinner who is gonna maybe sell their soul to the devil. In the literal sense, it is someone that is about to sell their soul. An angel saving someone that sold their soul to the devil. In the metaphorical sense, it's just a regular person trying to help a person become better, which he doesn't think he deserves. And in his relationship to God, they repeat the verse, "No, I know I don't deserve you, but please have faith in me. I'm working to be worthy. You'll make me happy all the time," which is the same lyric from the previous one, which I guess implies that maybe using God as a crutch to make you happy is equally as unhealthy as using a human being as a crutch to make you happy.
Or maybe it's just to tie the two together.
Maybe I'm reaching here, but I actually think this one ties into the image pretty well, all things considered.
Yeah.
I think so, and I think reusing lyrics is interesting. Usually you see like you'll reuse like melodies or something like that, but reusing lyrics is an interesting way to tie two songs together.
Yeah, and I don't see many lyrics reused in this show, and I don't see many melodies reused either. Let's do one more song, then go into a mid-show.
The whore goes like Garbo, she's
Done with her dirty work.
Heel
breaks,
she slinks down to fix.
splits the seam of her skirt.
In this Waverly gutter, she's giving up tricks.
While a shudder is a flutter of crick.
'Cause she looks just like Jesus in the liquor-lit spot, with a tear and a tear in her side. And so I capture the moment I caught, giving frame, changing shame to pride.
So what's the next image?
All right, the next image, and this one is weird to describe, I guess. It looks like a street curb or maybe a rooftop. I can't really tell. And it's reflecting what looks like graffiti, and it's like a top hat, upside down top hat and an eye. It's a very strange image.
Yeah. what do you think the song is about, and how does it tie to the image?
Uh,
What?
Oh God.
yeah, genuinely, I don't know. This one I could not. I could not parse.
I could not parse it either. I don't particularly love this song, to be honest, and maybe that's just kind of my feeling. But apparently the song talks about the exploitation of painful circumstances captured in art, in this case photography, for the sake of profit or something like that. It's a pun on Catholic belief of Immaculate Conception, which is that the Virgin Mary's conception without original sin. The notable thing here is that the prefix switched from the conception to deception, suggesting that art can deceive the perceiver through the way it's framed and presented. It keeps in line with the main theme of the relationships that the musical has as a through line, this one being the relationship between the photographer and the subject. So maybe this is supposed to be like a pool of blood?
I think it's just the image in there looks a little like freaky, and I do think it's just a puddle. I don't know.
Am I reaching here too much? Because there is like a little bit of red in the puddle. It is a black and white image with like red highlights.
Yeah, but like if you turn your head to the side, it looks like the Babadook's cousin that no one
Yeah,
liked.
that I was gonna bring that up too.
Yeah,
It did kind of look like the
kinda like
Babadook.
that. Also, Catholics made up that Immaculate Conception thing to show that Mary wasn't cheating. I don't believe that.
She fucked God. I know this. I
Yeah,
have
she had
proof.
sex with God.
God doesn't actually have to follow the rules that say you can't cheat, so it's fine.
Exactly. God can just
Or
have
kill.
sex with who
Do
he
you know how
wants.
many people God has killed? At least 3.
At least 3.
At least.
But you know who else has definitely killed at least 3 people? Our wonderful patrons. How
All
about
of
we
our
go into
patrons.
All
it
of our
on this
patrons.
show and talk about them? Hey guys, sorry to interrupt you in the middle of the show, but we've got to shill it to you. Today's show is brought to you by extremely kind donations by our donors over at Patreon. Andrew, what is Patreon and what's going on over there?
Oh man, you can go to Patreon if you want to get access to our unedited live shows.
Oh,
Which we got video with this episode in particular. I think is important because we're showing off the images that go with each song.
and I'm sure that Andrew's going to cut out a lot of this.
And there's just a lot of extra content in general. We have like commentary tracks and just other things that we wouldn't put on our normal feed.
Yes, and Andrew and I are going to do a lot more of those. Liz and I have some cool things planned. I love our Patreon so much, and hopefully sometime we can get back to doing those meetups.
Yes.
I miss them.
Yeah.
Yeah, we miss you guys.
Our current patrons are Melissa Goldman, Danielle Renix, the Peasant Chick. Wow, changing names on me? You're not allowed to do that. Just the Stampede, Ewan Cassidy, Monica Thoreau, Brent Black, Nathaniel Stacey Coombe, Joseph Evans Green, Mary Lou Choquette, John Vanals, Russ Walker, Musical Hell, Emily Gracie, Kyle Summers, Janae C, Scoot the Technicolor Dreamcoat, Liz Lim, Nothing is Certain Except Beth and Taxes, Desbian, Roger Benjamin, Jessica T, Mitchell Young, Chai Teacup, Chris Marcotte, Kiji Marie Anastasio, Trevi Joseph, Layla, RJ Narijas, Julia McLennan, Bjorn Hermans, Toriana Fraser, Sammy, The Adequate Amount Jacobson, Lyanna Morton, Angela, Kaylee Blazier, Cinemageddon Reviews, Villainous Miss, Sophiana Ali, The Omega Geek, Paige Pearson, Maddie Wargle, Lisa Erdman, Anna Loskatova, Sarah Den Blekier, Evan Ball, Zachary Torres, Rora Marasso, Mara Forloin, Lisa L. Possessed Washing Machine, Nick Roten, Puffy Boy, Julia Hardy, Sydney Hicks, Ann Beal, Billy Clifton, Andrew Wright, The Red Caboose, Gold Plated Kikimora, and literally as we were recording, we got a brand new patron, so I added them real quick. And this is Julia Baldor-Dotier.
It's a cool name.
Destroyed
Very
that
cool
name. But they give us a little extra financial support that helps us keep the lights on here at Musicals with Cheese. If you would like to join them in supporting us and get tons of fun perks, come join us over at Patreon. And Andrew, would you believe it? We got more iTunes reviews since the last time we chatted.
That's crazy. Also, I just want to point out that would be Baldur's daughter.
What'd
is
I
the
say?
last name. Baldur's Dotier.
Boulders. I sounded like the Swedish chef. I went full Swedish chef on that one. It is
You do love
Boulders
accent
daughter.
work.
All right, are you ready for the first review we have?
Sure.
This is from OOV. And their title is, Well, That Happened.
Oh my God, they're stepping into our world from a Marvel movie.
Their review says, I did not think the previous awful review would be read on the podcast. Honestly, I am impressed. No things changed. The show is still great. Look forward to seeing what comes next. So we read their previous review, which apparently was just nonsense and they didn't think would be read, but then we read it. So they changed their review. It's still a
Very
5-star
cool.
review.
Excellent.
Here is a not so much fun review. And this one has the title Dear Evan Hansen.
Of course. Oh, God.
I assume this is regarding our original Dear Evan Hansen episode from, I want to say 2018? 5-6 years ago? That's fine.
We were right about everything.
They said, the Dear Evan Hansen episode was offensive. If you're not autistic, maybe don't criticize those on the spectrum for identifying with a character in a musical. You don't get to tell autistic kids or depressed kids that they're stupid for liking a show just because you didn't get it. Not everything's about you. Well, I don't think we said
Well,
that in
it's
the
actually
episode.
our show, so everything is about us.
Not to be
Gotcha.
that guy, but you can make your own podcast too. Like, there's no law stopping you from it. In fact, if you told me you made a podcast, I would share it.
I mean, an episode that early, maybe we did say that they were
We-
It was your
stupid.
17th episode.
It was our
We
17th.
might have said they were stupid.
We did not. I did go back and re-listen. I did say that a lot of people did think that Evan Hansen as a character was autistic, but I did also go into the fact that Ben Platt himself debunked that and said that was not the case.
We don't
That-
think you're stupid. We
No.
just think that maybe you should think a little more critically about the show if you actually identify with Evan Hansen.
No, and it's also just fine if you identify with Evan Hansen or identify with the show. You're allowed to disagree with us. That is a
You're allowed
fine
to.
thing to do.
But I do think you should think more critically about the show if you actually identify with Evan Hansen. I think
I
that-
feel like even the writers don't identify with Evan Hansen. Evan Hansen, even in the context of the show, is a cautionary tale.
Yeah.
It's like agreeing with fucking Travis Bickle from Taxi Driver. You're not supposed to, guys.
that's fine. I mean, not everyone's gonna like our show. That's fine.
Yeah.
But
In fact, I think our
maybe
show would
don't
be
judge
worse
us
if
on an
everyone
episode.
liked it.
Don't judge us on an episode that early. I mean,
Yeah, it was
listen
We
to
sweet.
did a
something from the
second
last-
episode on it, even.
listen to at least the second episode where we had our thoughts a little more coherent.
Or our third, Patreon commentary. In fact, me and Andrew just recorded a commentary of the Dear Evan Hansen movie over on Patreon. And you should go join Patreon. Yeah, it'd be great. How about we get back to the show and leave Luann.
Luann's fat lip is drying, the bastard's bacon frying, the shine around her eyes gone bust and bleeding. He shouts, girl, set the table, but he knows she ain't able. Her arms done broke, hung limp like yolk, and softly she's repeating, leave Luann, why don't you march out that door? Southern woman, he ain't no good to you. Leave Luann, Louisiana once war, but it's you dying on her ruby plains, and yet loyal Luann remains.
This is a song that is a full story, a full perfect narrative. It is lovely, zero faults, truly a perfect piece of musical theater. Sincerely, I have in my own personal life tried to get rights to this song to do a short film version of it. Like, that is how much I love this. I think it would be a great little movie.
It isn't 1-to-1, but I was thinking thematically and narratively, there's a lot of similarities between this song and the short from, I believe it's Creepshow, where is it Ted Danson?
Are you talking
Ted
about
Danson,
Yes.
the drowning one in the sand.
Yes, the drowning one in the sand.
I think you're reaching a bit.
That is a
Are
bit
you
of a stretch,
sure?
but I love that short.
I love that short too,
Are
but
you
I think
sure
it's a
I'm
stretch.
stretching too far? I mean, she drowns herself in a swamp and then
She
comes
doesn't
back to
drown
haunt her.
herself.
No, the husband dunks her head in.
That makes it even more similar.
No, he doesn't dunk her head and buries her in the sand and lets the things
No,
Like,
Ted
the waves
doesn't
get
even
her.
Drowns
do
her
it.
in the ocean.
It's Leslie Nielsen who buries both of them in the sand.
Yeah, he buries them
He
in the
puts a
ocean,
little
they drown,
TV
and then
in
they
front of
come
him.
back,
It's so cute.
and then they come back to haunt him.
Yes, I see the
I see
veil
that
connection.
similarity.
I don't know. There's not that much to both of these stories, and I feel like those are a lot of similarities.
This is just this. If you take anything from
They
this,
both
watch the original
drown.
Creep
They
Show.
both come back to
The
haunt the
thing
guy
that's
that killed
most
them.
haunting about Luann is she decides to drown herself because it's better than dealing with her husband. Like, that is honestly the
Yes.
most
Yeah.
horrific. All right, describe the image and let's describe the plot of the song.
The image is a man wearing a deer head that is on or holding a deer head in front of him that's on the oh my god, what do they call those? Like a trophy
Yeah, like a
plate or something?
Stand.
yeah. And honestly, it's terrifying considering my history with deers chasing me.
Oh, that's true. But also, it kind of like Evil Dead 2 vibes. you know?
Yes.
Yes.
I do not see quite how this ties into the narrative aside from like maybe the husband hunts.
Yeah, there's like a Louisiana thing as well.
Well,
like,
I think
that's
hunting
kinda more
isn't
common
like a
there.
specific thing in Louisiana or like the
No.
South. Like even in Michigan, there's
it's
a hunting
not, but
culture.
if you live in New York City and you think of the South, you're thinking of some shack where somebody has one of these hanging over their
I
fireplace.
guess.
That's a good point.
But the visual imagery, like I have an image of what Luann, her husband, the dog, the house, the bog, everything looks like. It is like perfect musical theater storytelling. This is as perfect as a musical theater song can get.
It's really good, and I got the entire story just from one listen, which is great. That's good storytelling.
And literally, it makes you want more of it. And it's a ghost story. It is like a battered kind of wife, kind of revenge story. It is truly incredible. This is I can't say enough good things. What do you think of it, Liz?
I love this song so goddamn much. I love it so much. I won't go into detail obviously, but I've been through a like semi like abusive relationship in my early 20s. Like I connect with these a lot, and the storytelling's so goddamn impeccable in this thing. It's so beautiful. Also, I watched like 6 animatics of this.
The animatics are perfect
And
of
they're
this.
so good for Leland. Like, just look up Leland animatic on YouTube and you'll be living. I love this song so much. It's so impeccably done. I've listened to it like 4 times since then, I think.
And my favorite part of this song, and we're not going to spend nearly as long on the rest of these songs as we are on this one, just because this one's so good, is the little fiddle melody where after Luann escapes, they just go silent, and then you get this little fiddle solo, like, it is so good. Everything about this, zero faults. I love the song. Listen to it. If you listen to anything, listen to this. Now, let's move on to Mama Let Me In.
Mama, let me in. Mama, let me in. Why you hate me and call me sin? Mama, why you call me sin? Mama, don't shut me out. I am here, I am here. Mama, don't shut me out. Mama, don't shut me out. Oh, don't you hear my bang and shout? My bang and shout, shout, bang and shout.
This time, the Christ imagery is locked behind bars.
Yeah.
Is that Virgin Mary or
It's the
something?
Virgin Mary.
Yeah, Virgin Mary, and then it's photographed from behind a barred window or
Now-
something. And there's also like a lot of red.
I do have a question, and this is a legitimate question. And is it still photography if you do immense amount of photo editing afterwards?
I think
Yes,
that's
I would say it is.
I think that's fine, but if you have a different view of things as an actual photographer, I would see why.
I don't. I just am curious. Like, I think mixed media is perfectly fine. I just think it kind of moves away from the photo idea. But I'm often wrong, and ask a real photographer instead of me.
I think that it's fine, but yeah, I mean, I think maybe it strays from the premise of like we just took pictures and then wrote songs about it. we took a picture and then edited it heavily and then wrote a song about that.
Yeah.
But but I'm not opposed to it. I don't really care.
I get what is the song about, Andrew?
It's about a child wondering why their mother is shutting them out.
And with the image, it's like, why is God shutting me out? There's a lot of questioning about faith in this show. I'm getting.
Apparently.
Didn't love this song. Kind of a real downer after Leave Luann kind of gets you pepped up again. But let's move on to the next
Leave
one.
Leave Luann just felt so fun and
I mean, fun for like a story as dark as that, but yes. All right. Why must we tell them why? Alex Brightman decides he's going to turn on a School of Rock for a song.
Why must we tell them why? Some require an explanation for why we make the things we make, why rules must break, and for whose sake. But why must we tell them why? Why excuse each deviation? Why must we serve them brief each part, or prove each part art a la carte? Look, all we're saying is, look, all we're saying is, all we're saying is, look, look.
It's just
Yeah,
like a
this one-
Fall Out Boy song.
Yes. He tastes like you,
This
only
one was
sweeter.
way more like energetic than any of the previous ones as far as like electric guitar and shit. Am I thinking of the right song?
Yes.
Yes.
It's the only Rocky
Uh,
one.
The
Rocky
picture
Horror.
is I don't really know what the fuck's happening. A man is trying to snap his own neck and then there's like a silhouette of him like jumping. It's like 3 photographs spliced together. There's a bar like in front of the camera and then there's a guy like trying to snap his own neck in different poses.
Why are you trying to make sense of it? Why must we explain why? Why must we tell them why? It's all about conformity, man, and why you have to justify your art, and why do you have to explain everything you do, man?
So it's like Stick It to the Man
Yeah,
from School of Rock,
it's a-
but different.
How is it different, though?
I don't know. I'm just trying to use a descriptor
But
because I
the
don't remember
same-
this song very well.
They even have the same, like, vocalist.
It's true. Good lord.
This is Twisted Teeth, a vampire story.
I met my mister as I night walked the park. So sorry to see him so alone in the dark. He was crying because no love would dare to come near. And so I crept up astride and whispered this in his ear. Love those twisted teeth, but I bet you're gentle. Your lips like a sheath and your tongue soft ornamental. Then he plunged them inside, and as my world split agape, we made love in the sky, and now I'll never escape.
I feel like the picture for this one is the best picture.
I like this
Yeah.
picture a lot, too. Describe what
It's
we're
really
seeing.
cool.
I can't figure out what the fuck it is, but I think it looks cool. There's like it's like black and red, and like there's a lot of lens flare and something that looks like a spider.
It looks like
or
a
something.
Rorschach test with, like, human beings, because I see, like, the human being kind of aspect, and it's, like, reflecting each other.
It looks like a horror poster, but like repeated 4 times.
It's cool. It looks like the Silence of the Lambs poster a little bit. Like, that's what it reminds me the most of if it was, like, tinted red.
It's cool.
Yes.
It's the best. It's the best picture. I think I like it the best.
It's a love song about a woman who happens to be falling for a man who is crying in the dark and discovers he's a vampire. He bites her, makes her a vampire, and then from then on, it's ambiguous whether their relationship is one of genuine love or just because, you know, they're both love vampires, so they have to be with each other.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna lie, this song kind of washed over me.
Yeah, I
The
didn't
song
get the
is like
vampire.
whatever. The song is like whatever. I got the vampire thing on first listen, but I didn't really. It was like whatever. This is fine. The picture was cool though. I saw the picture and I was like, that's cool.
The picture is really cool. What did you think of it, Liz? You're a True Blood fan, right?
I have never seen True Blood. I've only seen the first Twilight in full. A shame on me. And I don't mind vampires. Like, they're fine.
I'm not a fan of vampires.
I've seen
Straight
like the
up.
first half of the Vampire Diaries season 1. That was cool.
I saw
guess.
Vampire Academy in theaters because my girlfriend really wanted to see it. It was like
Did she read the books?
she did.
Okay, that makes sense then. That makes a lot more sense.
It was our first
We talked for
Valentine's
like
Day
one
together.
sec.
What's up, Andrew?
Can I talk for 1 sec about vampires?
Yeah,
Yeah.
sure.
I don't
Yeah,
like the
sorry.
direction that vampires have gone. I don't understand why they're all romance now and whatever. Vampires are like the perfect criticism of capitalism. And we never use it. I don't understand why. My
I
thought.
love you so fucking much, Andrew. I don't say that enough to you. Would you?
Like it's literally like it's a guy who lives forever and feeds off the blood of poor people.
It's some
like,
versions.
and they
yeah.
live in a fucking
Yeah, I'm about to
castle.
say they are like the aristocracy.
Yeah. My favorite version of Dracula is the Udo Kier one, who whenever he drinks non-virgin blood, he just like gargles for 20 minutes straight and like nearly dies.
My favorite version of Frankenstein is Udo Kier too.
Yes.
We've moved so far away from like the vampires being about being monsters that drink blood and move towards like, well, they're romantic. And like I feel like the romantic part was the part of vampires that was the least interesting. Like I don't
Well,
care.
no,
You can like
Dracula
Twilight for
seduces
all of
women,
this.
whatever.
no, Twilight
Fully.
is not the full thing. I blame Francis Ford Coppola's Dracula adaptation for a lot of what would become of this. And we can't avoid Anne Rice, as much as I do think she is a quality writer. She did a lot of work to try to make vampires sexy and cute.
Just I want another like make the vampire not sexy and make them a fucking monster.
Have you seen
And
The
bring
Descent?
back Van Helsing. He's cool.
Yeah, those
The Descent.
Yeah, that has some scary
those
fucking.
are
Aren't
vampires.
those vampires?
Those are
Are
vampires.
you talking about?
They're a-
Are you talking about the cave
Yes.
movie?
Yeah, the cave.
Oh, I love The Descent. That
cave
fucking
jumping
movie's
movie.
great.
Yeah,
those
that's
aren't
not
vampires.
vampires.
That's not vampires.
Those aren't
Are you
vampires.
shitting me? I thought.
No, those
No,
are
those are like goblin
those are like cave
monsters.
monsters. Yeah.
I swear to God, those are vampires.
Those are
No,
not
they're
vampires.
like cave
Jess.
monsters.
Anyway,
You're
I
wrong on
like
this one.
vampires. This song is fine.
Oh, okay. Vampiric Reapers from Blade 2 were the inspiration for them.
Well, they weren't vampires.
They still weren't vampires.
They didn't suck anyone's necks. They just broke people's legs.
The Blade movies are fucking awesome though.
Some motherfuckers try to ice skate uphill.
Always trying to skate a film. I will use that sound clip any chance I get.
Is this from Blade 1 or 2?
That's from Blade 1.
Okay, I haven't seen any of the Blade movies. That's why I'm asking.
Some motherfuckers are always trying to ice skate uphill.
Oh, God. Let's talk about hemming and hawing.
She wouldn't pull away like you did today, though you know how I like PDA. 'Cause I'm proud to be with you. Well, I was. She wouldn't pitch a fit, wouldn't bitch a bit when I leave her alone with my friends. 'Cause she'd like them, and they'd like her, they'd like each other. And oh, you're so not perfect. Yeah, oh, let me count the ways. But oh, she could be perfect. I'm gonna leave you. I'm gonna leave you one of these days.
Yeah, that's
gonna
about
zoom
what I expected this image to look
I'm
like for
gonna
the
zoom
song.
back out because I just wanted to show the texture of that other print because it's really cool and you can see it.
This image it's like yellow and it's a guy standing facing the camera. There's a swing set and there's a girl sitting on the swing facing away from the camera.
Is there something romantic about swing sets? Legitimate question, because they are often used as shorthand in romantic movies.
So when you're kids and you swing on the swing set and you swing together, it means you're married.
Oh, it's child marriage.
Yeah.
I was married to a few people in elementary school then.
See,
So-
I was the weird autistic kid that would try to race between all the swingers and try not to get hit by them. So it was a game where you'd run between all the people currently swinging on the swing.
I did that as well. That was very fun.
That what does that mean?
I got kicked in the head a couple times.
Oh yeah, I got knocked my ass to the ground for the one kid that was like aiming for
Why
people.
would you do that?
Because you had to see
Because it's
how
funny.
you had to see how athletic you are. You had to be better than the other guys.
For the people who are just listening, my hand is firmly in my face.
You didn't do
I
this.
can't go on the swings anymore. I get my head gets like dizzy now. I don't know why.
The one
I used to love going on the swings.
I broke my wrist on the swing. When I was a kid. I caught.
That's pathetic.
I know it is. It was because we were playing that game and one person knocked me backwards and I just my wrist back.
Ooh.
I broke my arm playing dodgeball or kickball because a table fell on me.
Wait, what the?
Wait, why was there a table?
Yeah, we had these tables. The lunch tables were in the gym and they would fold up into the wall.
Oh.
And somebody didn't latch it very well, so the ball hit it and it fell and hit me and landed on me.
That sounds like you could have sued the
I
sued the
definitely
school.
could have.
You could have died.
I definitely could have died if it hit my head instead of my arm.
Well, I'm glad you're here so we can talk about hemming and hawing.
The school refused to pay for the medical.
Are you
bills, by the way.
shitting my dick?
Fuck that. Wherever you lived at the time. In second
I'm taking
grade.
it that no one gave a shit about this hemming and hawing song.
It's a song about a. No. Let's talk briefly about it.
Hemming and hawing is perfectly adequate. Anyway, moving on.
Yes. What's this image look like, Andrew? This is for Cut You a Piece.
He was fucked up, and Jessie, she was peerless, so of course they fell in love. Jessie let Jules know what was wrong with him, and Jules stopped using and binging and pissing his whole life away. Jules told Jessie he'd die for her, which, looking back, was the right thing to say.
There's a guy laying on the floor, and then there's a girl laying on the floor, but the picture's upside down. Or it's the guy, or it's the same guy. I can't tell.
It's a girl.
No, it's a girl. And the other guy, the guy kind of looks like Jonathan Groff.
A little bit.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if a lot of these are secretly Broadway performers because the photographer is also one of the most prolific Broadway headshot photographers out there doing things.
I kind of feel like these two pictures should have been like merged, like the first image was, like the very first one, the Wonderland one. or
I
whatever.
guess, but I think
So that
the separation is the big thing because they fall in love and after their wedding, the deadly car crash, Jessie is killed and Jules is left to live on. This song is really good. Truly, it's hard to talk about this one because it is just an emotionally affecting number and truly kind of sets up the world. And I like, here's the thing I really hate about sad songs is they are always from the point of view of the sad person. I like that this one's kind of omniscient. It is just describing a story and the sadness within it. Because, I don't know, I find whining in songs a little annoying. But if you are describing a situation, it feels more apparent. It's the reason why Mr. Tanner as a song is so effective to me. It's not Mr. Tanner whining about not getting his opportunity. It's about just the story and you take it away. So I like that part of that about this. And that's why I think it's more emotionally affecting than, say, the last song about two people that just couldn't make their marriage work out. I was going to squeeze that in, hemming and hawing. But yeah, what about you, Liz?
Yeah.
Oh, about this one? Oh, I liked it a lot. I think it really does capture the emotion of like losing your partner and then wanting to move on, but always having them in the back of your head. And it really does like capture that loss very well in a way that feels real, in an effective way.
10 out of 10 song, probably my second favorite after Leave Luann. Now we got to talk about the one that everyone talks about. It's the favorite song. It's everyone's fucking favorite song. It's the Ballad of Sarah Berry. Everyone's done a cover. Everyone's done an animatic. Let's talk about it.
boy cheer captain, plus she was rich. Oh yeah. That girl had everything till hiccup and hitch. Julie Jenkins lost a leg in a wreck. The nominations for prom royalty came. Our Sarah senior year and Queen was her claim. Till gossip stirred the student body would name Julie Jenkins Queen of the prom. Sarah, her father said, life is a prom. I know you won't disappoint me and Mom. You taste the silver, Sarah, you taste the crown. You thirst for blood from the roses in hand. Whoa, you spoil for session, scepter, music to dance as they crown you queen of high school land.
All right, Andrew, what's the image?
There's 8 girls, and then there's a 9th girl, and her head is circled with a red marker.
All right, now let's talk about the.
They are all in separate images in the same location.
Let's talk about the song then. High school song feels very Heathers.
Heathers, Carrie, something like that.
Yeah.
Girl murders other girls to be prom queen. It's like the opposite of Carrie.
It's how Carrie should have ended. While this is probably my second favorite song of the entire album, I think it's a little overrated.
I thought the other song was your second favorite song.
That was only the second favorite up to this point.
That's fine.
Oh.
If that makes sense. Sorry if I stated incorrectly.
So, I mean, overrated is not really a judgment of quality.
Not at all.
No. It's a great song. I like it a lot.
It's a different feel than everything else. It's somehow it's a lot, probably the closest to Leave Luann to any of the other songs. It's like a dark kind of horror. I wish there was just a lot of dark horror songs, truly. I feel like this would be it would have connected a lot more with this specific group of 3 people on this podcast.
You think it should have been like a horror anthology, like a certain movie?
Yes, if it were like Trick or Treat.
3.
You think if they made a Creepshow musical, it would be pretty good.
Have you even watched the Creepshow Shutter series?
I've watched
No,
the
I have
first
not.
episode.
I hear it's good.
It's pretty good actually. Greg Nicotero does a lot of directing. The first
Is it better
first
than
story
Creepshow
is based on a
2?
Stephen King short story. So
Mm.
at least that you ever
Well,
seen.
it wouldn't be Creepshow if
Stephen King
they
wasn't involved.
didn't.
Meteor shit.
And that was some of his best acting work.
We are literally recording this a day before Halloween, so we're kind of in that spoopy mood.
Yeah.
I honestly, the other thing with this one is that a lot of the better songs were like dark themes. So I don't know.
I think that's kind of
It's
Ryan
like-
Scott Oliver's bread and butter.
And I mean, there's several attempts at what I would consider horror songs in this.
Mm-hmm.
So
But
I don't know.
when they're done well, they are
almost fits.
better than most musical theater songs, and that's truly it. And I feel like, as much as we are kind of like, well, that's not really a song we have interest in, the ones that work really fucking work.
Yeah. Also, Sarah Berry, I know, has like 15,000 animatics on it.
100%.
They're all really good, just to be clear.
I feel like this album was made to be turned into animatics.
Yeah.
So there is the problem with this show now that we're basically at the end because the finale is
Yeah.
just a reprise.
It's just all of the
essentially.
songs together.
Yeah, there's
Yeah,
no more pictures. That was the last one.
So there's a problem with the show that I think is that as a show, it just doesn't. I don't think it makes sense to like sit down and listen through all
No.
of this. I think you should just pick the ones that you like and listen to those because every song is like its own thing. You don't really need to listen to all of them. There's no you're not going to miss anything if you skip straight to Leave Luann and don't listen to anything else. You're not going to miss anything.
Well, that being
not
said, Andrew, quickly, let's do a list of all the best songs in order.
All right.
Oh man. My
Jess,
list
are
might
you
be different
typing
than
this or
yours,
am I
but-
typing?
You'll type, but I'm gonna X them out.
Okay. Where should I type?
Just at the bottom of the screen.
Oh man, am I have to pick all the songs?
No, you and
Do
I
have
are
to
going.
order
All
every
3 of
single
us are doing it, but I'm just gonna cross them out, and Liz is gonna write them.
Okay. No. So
Okay.
start from the top to the bottom. Make my life easier.
Yep. The best one is Leave Luann. Hard agree with everyone. No one's gonna disagree.
Yeah, I don't think there's no one's gonna argue. I
Yes.
don't think here.
Yeah, and then second is Sarah Berry.
Yeah.
I liked Cut You a Piece better.
Okay. We're gonna have to have a.
I like Sarah Berry better.
Are you?
All right, I guess that's 2-1.
I
but-
think Sarah Berry is better, and then Cut You a Piece is a very close third.
Okay.
And then here's where it gets. I like
I would probably put
Carolee
Carolee
next. Yep, I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah, agreed. I agree.
And then probably The Seraph? Probably next.
I was gonna say the Seraph, yeah.
All right. And then oof. Gosh, now
This is where it gets
This is
hard.
where it gets hard, not because we love them all.
Here I would probably put either
I think The Party Goes With You.
The Party Goes With You or Twisted Teeth.
I'm
one
going
of
to go
those
The
two.
Party Goes With You, then Twisted Teeth. Because I agree they're next to each other, but I think Party Goes With You is a little bit more interesting because we're sick of vampires.
Fair.
Then
Fair.
I'm going to argue Good Lady and then On Monday. Actually, no. Crazy Town deserves to be above both of those.
Crazy Town just for being
Weird. And then,
Okay, what was the wait? Good Lady.
yeah, Crazy Town, Good Lady, then On Monday.
Okay.
I want to put the Rock one here after that.
Yep. And, where?
Oh, the Fall Out Boy one.
Yeah, why must we tell them
Yeah.
why?
Also, I kind of want to say I think Stop Time probably should have been before a lot of these.
Oh yeah, Stop Time exists.
I think Stop Time should have been above a lot
Let's
of these
put
ones that we're
that
talking about
one
now.
above.
I'd put it above Crazy Town at least.
I'd put it
Yeah.
right above Twisted Teeth, honestly. Right above Twisted Teeth, and then Make Me Happy right after everything else we said. Then Mama Let Me In, because that song bores the fuck out of me. And then is Hemming and Hawing really the worst song in the show?
No, you forgot Immaculate Deception.
Okay, Hemming and Hawing,
Deception.
and then Immaculate Deception.
Is that all of them?
Yeah, it's all of them, aside from the transitions.
That's all of them. You could probably just put the finale next to
The finale is kind of its
Stop
own
Time.
world. Yeah.
It's. I feel like it's just Stop Time again, but they mix a little bit of the other songs
Yes.
in there.
So our official 35 millimeter ranking is Luann, Sarah Berry, Cut You a Piece, Kara Lee, Seraph, Party, Stop Time, Twisted Teeth, Crazy Town, Good Lady, On Monday, Why Must We Tell Them Why, Make Me Happy, Mama, Hemming and Hawing, and Immaculate Deception / the finale. And you know what? What is our overall thoughts and our cheese ratings? Andrew, you're first.
Oh man. Overall thoughts. It's like a big mix of. It's a big mix of good and bad. Honestly, I think for the most part, it's good. We made like a ranking, but I would say, probably all the way down to like number 12. I still think that they're mostly good. Like none of these are really like bad songs or anything like that. It's just some of them are peak, and then there's just a big mix. So I guess as far as the cheese rating, you have to give it like a cheese platter, I guess, and the cheese platter of a shit ton of cheeses, and some of them are really good, and some of them are not.
You know what? That is as healthy an answer as you are ever gonna get. Liz, what about you?
It's one of those things that has like extreme highs but lows that are like, why is this here? Like it can be really good, but it's either middling or just like okay. It's overall, I don't hate that I experienced this. It was really good. It was a really good vibe in general. I just thought some of the songs were kind of meh. So I did enjoy Leland and Sarah Berry and Cut You a Piece. Always great. I liked most of them in general. It's just a lot of them are kind of like, would I listen to them again? No. Did I hate that I heard it? No.
Maybe.
So I'm going to give this a French bread pizza from your middle school, because sometimes it's really good and sometimes it's just kind of mediocre.
Hell yeah. I like the show. It's fine. I still kind of like Drew Gasparini's album a little better. It does a lot of the same things in a format that I kind of prefer and has more songs that I remember and enjoy, and it is an album I return to a lot more with a lot of the same cast members. So maybe that's just a me thing. But if you really like these songs, go watch the animatics. Support the local Broadway fans that are turning this into a different kind of art and interpreting them, because they are doing it better than your brain can. And I'm being so sincere when I say that. So my cheese rating is going to be paneer. I don't know if you guys know this, but I love Indian food, and paneer is used in Indian food, but if you use it incorrectly, it tastes horrendous. But if you use it well, it is the most delicious thing you'll ever eat. So I think that's a good kind of description for this. If it's done well, you will love it. If it is done poorly, it probably won't hit you in the right way when you're on the toilet. All right. On that note, Thank you guys for listening. Please follow us on iTunes, Spotify, and wherever the fuck else at Musicals with Cheese. We're on Twitter at Cheesy Musicals. We're not changing it into X. It'll always be Twitter. We're on Patreon Musicals Cheese, Instagram Musicals Cheese, YouTube page Musicals Cheese, Patreon only podcast, Patreon with Cheese. Email us at musicaltheaterlives@gmail.com. Our keeper of the cheese is Juliet Antonio. Here is something for you, Juliet, as an ASMR fan yourself. Leave Lewin. This show is edited by the one and the only Andrew DeWolf, and he's doing a fantabulous job. Our themes are created by Andrew DeWolf and Robyn Nash. Thank you to the Broadway Podcast Network for having us on the platform. All right, guys, is there anything else we have left to say?
Nah, I just have "Make Me Happy" stuck in my head because that's stupid first line.
All right, we'll see you next time on Musicals with Cheese.